Okay, so in this example, we're being asked to simplify the expression. Now notice we have a square root in our denominator. We want to get rid of that because this goes back to having an irrational number in our denominator. We don't want to do that, meaning we do not want to leave square roots in our denominator, right? So in order to do this, we're going to have to multiply by the conjugate. So I'm looking at this part here. Now, the conjugate is simply when you have two binomials with the same term, but they have opposite arithmetic operators separating them. So for example, in order to get rid of the square root, I'm going to multiply by the conjugate, and that's going to be the following. I'm going to have 2 minus the square root of 2. Notice how I have the same terms, but I just have an opposite arithmetic operator separating the two. That is the conjugate, right? And that's how we get rid of this square root in our denominator. Now we need to keep things balanced, so I'm multiplying the denominator by 2 minus the square root of 2. I also have to do that to my numerator, okay? So let's work on the denominator first. Now, we're just multiplying two binomials, so we can use FOIL here, which is first, outside, inside, last. And you'll see how this works out. So doing first, we get 4. Okay. Doing outside, we're going to get negative 2 square root of 2. Doing inside, we get positive 2 square root of 2. And then doing last, we're going to get negative 2. Okay? Square root of 2 times the negative square root of 2 is negative 2. So you can see how this works out. Notice how our square roots here are going to naturally cancel out, right? And now we're just left with 4 minus 2, which is simply going to be 2. This is what's going to be on our denominator, right? So let's work the numerator now. I'm simply just going to distribute to each of my terms. So 4 square root of 2 times 2 is going to be 8 square root of 2. And then just moving on, 4 square root of 2 times negative square root of 2, well, that's going to give me negative 4, right? And then we just have times 2, because the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is going to be 2. So you can see what happens here. I get 8 square root of 2 minus 8. So let's put this all together. This is my numerator. This is my denominator. Let's go ahead and rewrite it. So I get 8 square root of 2 minus 8. And this is all going to be over 2. And you could leave it like this, but we can actually simplify this down. Notice I have two terms in my numerator sharing the same denominator. We can break this apart so it looks like this. 8 square root of 2 all over 2 minus 8 over 2, right? And then just simplifying this down, we're going to get 4 square root of 2 minus 4. And this is going to be our final answer right here, right? So we just simplified the expression by multiplying by the conjugate, right? And that is it.